Hey folks, this is Noble Rambler, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Banished. This is the Colonial Charter mod, version 1.6, the Forge Awakens, and we are in our town of Ramblington, which, let me get my fingers on the keyboard here. We're in our agriculture area at the south end of town, and we were kind of in the middle of a few things when we signed off last time. So that episode by introduction will finally get into this episode. My pastor will do that sometimes. It's kind of fun. He'll talk for the first half hour, then he'll say, well, now all that by introduction, let me get into the message. We ran out of quarry last time, so we've got to deal with that. The deer butcher, let me turn the game on here. We're at speed 5 now. We only made speed 5 by the end of last time. Put in the deer butcher because I suddenly realized from comments in the comment section a few episodes back that the deer butcher can deal with venison out of the hunter. So there's no butcher that deals with ducks, right? We've kind of verified that. There's nothing to do with chickens and ducks now, because we can pull ducks out of the forest too. But we can butcher horses. Yeah, there's no other purpose in the game for horses other than butchering, right? I think that's all that there is. So I don't see the purpose of putting in horses, though we could possibly put in a corral here and put in animals, put in horses that way. You know, we'll have to play with these one of these days to see what they do. Do they act like the horses that are going to be in the pens? Are these animated, or do they just stand there and look good? I don't know. I'm not going to find out just now because I've already got a to-do list that goes on forever. The shore houses are in. We got plenty of labor because the quarry is done. So we were able to get all the shore houses going. So now the shore houses are going. What does that do for us otherwise? This is the new clothier. I'm going to pause for a second. Here we go. So, full coat or warm coats are still not here. We had a trader sell us warm coats, which is leather and wool combined from vanilla Banished and the original Banished to make one grade above these guys right here as warm coats, but it's still not available here. So that apparently is not in Colonial Charter 1.6. So that's finally confirmed. I wish that there was a pop-up for all of these choices, so as you pass over survival coats, what is the point? Is it better than these guys? Is this all ascending order? Or is it just a different thing to wear so you can get your citizens wearing a whole different variety of suits? You know, which one's warmer, which one has more durability, that sort of thing. Is that a thing in the game? So, or do you just grab the one that you happen to have the supplies for? If you have linen and wool, then you make these. So, buff coats, cured leather. They liked the buff coats. Cured leather. Let's add that to the to-do list. In fact, let's go ahead and just get that going right now. That can go right here. So this is our what's the big fancy word for clothing industry? It'll come to me later. So it's a very generic word, old English word that is about clothing in general. But let's go with what we've got. So we've got leather and wool. So pea coat is leather and wool. Is pea coat the new warm coat? It is now. We're going to make pea coats. Okay, let's get somebody working here. There already is one person working here, which is our tailor right there. That is the one. This is 2. And now that slot is filled. Down to... That didn't take someone immediately off of here. Did that pop to 12 before I did that? Must have. Yeah, right here. A laborer just popped in autumn. and it's now late autumn. So that's done. Cured leather. So let's go back into here, go to our fabrics and fibers. Another merchant just came in, which is really soon. I mean, we haven't played much game between the middle of the last episode and this one. I thought it was like one person a year, but they're really rolling them in. Anyway, cured leather should be in this area. This is the fabric and fibers category. So we've got a fiber watermill, which must be similar to the weaver, but faster way of making products from fiber such as cloth, linen, and silk. So this makes things from the fiber. This makes it faster. Aha, what's he look like? Let me rotate that around here. F. Does that work? Oh, R. R rotates. So there's our water mill on the back, right down there in the green area. So if we were to pop him like that, which would make sense, but it takes away our little park. So I don't want to. Could do something like that if we wanted to put this in. But we'll hold off. We've got to find a new area to have another industry zone where we can have all these water mills all next to each other. I assume it's down here. I'm kind of picturing the big city and maybe an industry and a dock and a wharf down in here. Another bridge that pops down into this guy. And all of this will have the quay walls on it. I think that's where we're going. This is going to become a little park that is going to memorialize our town arrival, though I'm thinking about doing it differently than what I had proposed before. I still don't really get this. I kind of do, but it just seems like there should be something else to represent this. And when we, a couple episodes ago, discovered our original wagon that we'd forgotten about, it just kind of got grown into the forest here. I got to thinking, let's make that memorial park, but instead of putting a boat and signpost there, let's put a town decorations, a wagon there. I don't know if we can get to where we can see it. It's not the same wagon, but still it could be a memorial to us arriving in this new land with our wagon. So maybe a little plaza area with a wagon in the middle, something that looks like a memorial stone, you know, talking about it, and some flowers around it and a nice stone wall. We'll do something like that. That could be an episode all in itself. I haven't used any of these yet, so don't know if we need to do any leveling, though this looks pretty good already. So don't know if we want to do anything with the shore. You know, I'm picturing a grassy area rather than stonework and quay walls here. Though a quay wall might look good coming right off this mill. What is this one? That's the foundry, right? Which kind of doesn't fit there. That foundry should be over here in this area. Anyway, so that's the plan soon. Don't know what episode's going to handle that one. Because right now we're still trying to deal with the things that actually are important. So plantations are still here because we wanted to see the herbs. And they did get plant. And finally confirmation. All of these years that I have played Banished, I've never really gone to the wiki and clicked on herb to see what the symbol is. I guess I could have gone here. Where am I? Here and done that. I never thought of that. Go down to H. Nope, because it looks like that. That's what I'm used to. I've always seen these things out in the woods, and I assumed those were herbs, but I never really had a confirmation that they were. First time we've ever grown herbs, and there they are. So now we know. So our herb, let's see, we are into late autumn. The fall, late autumn. We're still late autumn. The snow is early. That's what's going on. Let's set that for pickup. Let him just keep working his way through. Now this one was to kind of compare. This is an east-west direction versus our north-south directions. And some folks think that this is better. Some folks think that this is better in that they tend to get picked up faster. To me, yeah, there's a lot of back and forth, but if you're walking here and then you're going back, which is non-productive, to go forward here and pick up, if you were to go forward and pick up all the way to here and then walk all the way back to here to go to this row and pick forward, it's the same amount of steps. The only time that is different is on the very last row, in that you're making a long run on that last row, but you don't have to repeat the whole thing. Whereas here, the last row is only equivalent to the last third. So the efficiency is that they don't have to make the second walk for the 2/3 of this last row here. So the difference is the amount of time it takes to pick from there to there, as far as the difference between efficiency of this field and this field, because they tend to walk east to west. So this one is slightly more efficient, but when we're dealing with so much more food than we're ever going to, than we need, that just isn't really something that's ever really concerned me. But there are folks that do Let's Plays that are designed to teach you all of the most efficient ways to do it. Pinstar was one that I've seen before, that he'll go through a game, not just Banished, but a lot of games, and he will go through and show you the most efficient ways by the math. He creates a cross in the forest node and puts specifically the hunter here, the forester there, the gatherer, and he bases his circle on the gatherer and nothing else, so that the forester fills as much of the gatherer whole circle, so that it keeps the most food possible, and he does a very good job of showing the efficiency of the game. So there is definitely a place for it. If someone is really concerned about getting the most out of the game possible, they stack their houses all up against each other and just the bare minimum roads and get as much squeezed into this map as they possibly can. I'm playing it more from the aspect of just having fun. Throwing the road through the carriage port, just for the fun of seeing the road come through there, and leaving room between the buildings so we can get a backyard behind a house that's got what I would like my backyard to look like, for instance. So there's different ways to do the same thing. In the end, the food's still coming in, the population's still there, kids are still in school, we still have laborers. We've not destroyed the town by not making it absolutely perfect. That's the way that I play. Other people have other priorities, and that's the way they play. So there's fun in it both ways. I was just thinking about something, and that brain cell died. So we can turn this guy off. We've seen the herbs. He didn't get it finished, but it was kind of a fluke because it snowed in the autumn. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off. Well, I'll turn it back off. Quantities of herbs is not critical. We'll always have more than we need. So we're not going to waste the laborers when we get down to only 2 or 3 laborers, which is bound to happen again. It will cycle back and forth. And we need those laborers to be picking up these fields. Tulips. Pause. We finished a successful year of tulips. We brought in... Wrong one. There we go. We brought in 980, so we'll say 1,000. We had 1325 at the beginning of the last episode. I believe it is 1 year total now between the two. I don't think we've missed one. So 1325, so 2335 minus 20, 2315. What did I say? 2505. So 2305. Did we bring them back into the trader? Is there 100 here? Tulips. Nope, didn't get that. So we're still at 2305. This trader, we did spend these. Did they get replaced? What am I looking at? Oh, there's a trader here. Oh, that's what I'm looking at. Tulips, we did spend them, and they're back. So 2305, 2205. If we're not eating them anymore, there should be 2205 in here. Tulips, 2153. So there's less. Of course, many of these still came from the crop fields. I think we're just going to call this one unknown. I'm going to stop making tulips. I'm going to turn tulips off. Take out a farmer. It's a food source, but we'll save that for something else that is more specifically plantation, so that we get the value of the plantation out of that crop. But we finished the year, we finished the crop, so we didn't waste anything. Logs are low. Why is that? Firewood is back up to 1,000. Did we ever increase the limit on firewood to 2,000? 2,500, yeah. So we've got a wave of folks dying, so another generation is hitting that age. Tools and clothes are set for 150, which is plenty. Well, we've got a population, well over 150 now. Yeah, let's go ahead and kick that up. We'll go up another notch on those guys. Anything else here that's low? We're not come anywhere close to the 2,000 mark that we've set for these guys. So don't see any great panic to getting that going. Let's get to a few things before too much more time goes by. You know, we've had a hard time getting beef. Are we trading beef? No. Why are we having such a hard time getting beef to the butcher? Inventory. Beef, 0. Okay. And is there anything we want from this trader? Did I miss him? Oh, he's over here. So we got a company merchant in. Do company merchants sell silkworm eggs? I'm not sure what company means. Oh, company. I'm thinking, boy, there's a lot here. Company, we are officially on a mission as a colony from whatever country we came from, which is another issue to bring up. When we make this memorial park, we'll have to choose our flag and put that here next to the cart to designate who we are a colony of. So, banished works on the premise that you've been banished from your country, and so you're just setting up your own little place. But Colonial Charter, we are on a charter from a country to set up a colony. So the company has sent supplies. Silkworms, silkworm eggs are a supply that the company charter will send. Just once, let's bring a load of silkworm eggs in. So here's a situation similar to a fiber merchant in which we are allowed to order silkworm eggs. Is there anything else that we critically need to purchase? I can't think of anything that we're dying without. We've got to get candles going. We've got a lot of stone, but we've got a map that's got a bazillion rocks on it still. So I don't feel the need to blow 1,000 firewood to buy stone. So I think we're just going to call that one good. I don't think there's anything else that's critical. Is there anything that he brought that we would really like to have? We have a few seeds. That's right, we didn't plant our seeds last time. We got to go and do the orange trees. Statues are selling at 285. Wow. How many statues have we made yet? That's right here. Statue Carver has made 11 statues. So we've got a bunch of money sitting in the bank here. We got to decide what to do with our statues of, kind of looks like David there. Trader. So we got to get statues into the market. Got coats. Let me do it with the scroll here. So parsnip seeds. Don't really care for parsnips myself. Tinned meat. Sells meat for 3 versus the 1 which is raw, or 2 which is maybe a few pieces that come out of the butchers. Muskets, potatoes, bronze statues are not quite as good as marble statues, but still worth quite a bit. Seed oil and wheat. I'm tempted to go ahead and just grab some wheat while it's here. Whether we use it right now or not, it's there for when we do set up the area for the mill and the baker. We won't have to wait then for a seed to come in. No, this is wheat itself. Okay, never mind. If it was wheat seeds, I would consider that. I thought that was a good price. I saw the 2,000. Again, to me, this is in the wrong place, but I was thinking wheat for 2,000. That's a wheat seed. I only need one. So, a little confusion there in my mind. Anyway, I think we're going to pass on Lemond, the company merchant. But we'll take your silkworm eggs if you have any next time. Dismiss and shut that down. We need to get candles going. So venison cuts. All right, let's do that real quick. If we were to put venison cuts in, between episodes I was going to do all this, but forgot. So let's pop in 20 of those to see. They're worth 2. So there's our better option for venison. So if we were to put, that was a quick flash of snow and not snow. We were to put, 1,000 venison cuts in here, meaning all of them, and take out the 1,000 venison, meaning all of them. We can take this 1,000 and make 2,000 out of it. So we've just enhanced our economy there. Okay. So, trading is done. You have been dismissed. We're done there. More folks are dying. We're down to only 6 laborers. We're not going to have any stonecutters left to put back in. So, candles are being made here as far as the beeswax. Where does the chandelier, meaning chandelier, the chandelier who makes the candles, work from? We've got our textile industry going. Textile, that's the word I was trying to come up with. Our textile industry is kind of based over here. This is more of our, okay, what is the big fancy word for metalworking? So our generic metal industry happening here. This is our, okay, what's the generic word for making things out of ovens going on over here? Here's our glassworks. So sorry, we were talking about evaluating this last time. Now that all of our shore houses are in, we still don't have enough sand, or we've hit our material limit. No, 2,700 out of 5,000. So we're still furnace fuel. We're lacking furnace fuel in order to be utilizing all of our sand. Furnace fuel is coming out of, it's in here somewhere, Country Smithy, Fuel Refinery. Can have another person working. Can have up to 3 people working here. So if we were to, which means we're going to eat up our firewood, okay? If we were to increase that, we'll get more firewood turned into furnace fuel, which we haven't been making very much of each season. Now we don't really have a lot of firewood close by, which is a problem. Our logs are dropping. Okay, we've got to address that one as well. I'm going to keep the game running, but at a slower speed, so I can keep it going while I'm talking. We're running, yeah. So we need to, we've got more furnace fuel coming in now, but we need to get ahead of the curve here, in that he's going to eat up more firewood, which is eating up more logs. So logs and firewood have to be dealt with. Glass, that's why glass has shut down. Okay, brickworks are over here. How are we doing there? We're taking clay and furnace fuel. Alright, so even though we got more clay available to us with the increased shore houses, we're not going to be able to use it until we get the furnace fuel going, which will then allow us to probably get we'll get a brickwork going, and we'll get a, where's our pottery coming from? That's this row? Glasswork, potter. Okay. Has the potter not been making a lot because he's limited by furnace fuel? That we don't know. Eventually we could put another pottery in and get more pottery going out of the same footprint, which we will do because we have tripled the furnace fuel. We just have to make sure that the supply this furnace fuel uses maintains. So we're going to pop another one there. So we're going to increase the quantity of pottery coming out. We're going to increase the amount of bricks coming out by switching this guy to bricks, and this guy is now going to become charcoal. There we go. Number of citizens working at this location, that symbol there. Okay, so brick, brick, charcoal, and work. There we go. Did we not? 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is not that. Okay, this is the glassworks, which is waiting for furnace fuel and sand. I think we're going to stop. We're not going to go further yet on this one. So we've added another 1, 2 workers that are going to be using the extra furnace fuel coming out of here. So let's go make sure. Well, okay, we didn't answer our original question. Where is the chandelier going to live, going to work? Maybe that is the beginning of this square? Or do we need to save some room for the continuance of this industry? Let's pop this road across and over and start at the lower end of here. And again, that adds more jobs for the housing we need to put in over here for the stone cutter, the quarry. Okay, so let's bring this road across, cut it in, get a chandelier in this area. So road, is that going to make this unbuildable by putting the road in first? When you put at least pastures and corrals and orchards in, they auto level. Do other buildings auto level? Let's find the chandelier and start there, then we'll build the roads around it. That sounds like refined. Is that an artisan? That's an artisan. Chandlery. Chandlery is used to make candles out of beeswax, whale blubber, or tallow, which we are making tallow and we're making beeswax. We could justifiably put 2 of these in. And I see we're not going to level this area, even with this building. Whereas we could put in a crop field and it will, to an extent, level this. So we're green all the way to even with this road here. Pretty much. Whereas the chandelier, boom, boom, there, died much earlier. Right there, see if I can cut a straight line across. So there's more flexibility with the crop fields than with permanent buildings here. So it doesn't matter if I put the roads in first, it's not going to change the level of anything. So this road is a single road. He cuts across. Oh, so the road is limited too. Okay. There's no point in putting a tunnel across. Not really. Does a tunnel qualify? I'm not going to do it, but I'm just curious whether you can even put one in that small of a hill. So if we were to grab that line, no. So you can see the red squares, that's where it would go, but it's not tall enough for the tunnel to stay underneath the mountain there. Whereas here is. That's much taller. I'm just curious, is there any reason to punch a tunnel through here to let these folks get through easier? It'll save a little bit on efficiency. It'll take away the ability to put something right here, but it would punch this road through. Yeah, let's do that. We can't use it for a mine or anything else in here. We'll put that in, just for fun. So, and that gets our beeswax one more pathway over to here. Anyway, so let's finish the road coming down this area to there. And I didn't see where this one built to. That ends there. Didn't I already place that? I guess I stopped because it wasn't going to. If I were to diagonal across, what would we do? It looks something like that. Do we want to? Let's wait for the tunnel. No, that's not the tunnel. What is this? That's the mine. Okay. Let's put the chandelier over here on this side, and we'll deal with that once the roads are in and figure out what's going to happen in that corner. So, chandelier. There's a lot of things to think about for each step that I take. Because I try not to, there's a road that didn't get finished, to just build and then deal with the big oops afterwards. I try to think it through beforehand so that I know that... Oh, we diagonaled in there. That's what's up. Ah, okay. Well, we'll take a look at that later. Let's thin out some trees right there so we can see what's going on. Okay, so back to the chandelier for the 17th time. Let's put you in here. Aimed which way? Where is that wax most likely going to be stored? It's probably going to be stored here. Probably very little chance it's going to move anywhere else unless it is taken somewhere else. To here and to here. So the orientation probably just isn't that critical. So let's drop this guy in here and we'll put another one. A space between. Let's put two spaces. Where do I hit red? I hit red right there. We'll do that. And that lowered our hill. Okay. So, chandeliers. The chandelier works at the chandlery, where they make chandeliers, is finally in. Whose candles will be stored where? We need to use them here. Where are they going to be stored? Is that a material? Meaning, right here. It's glassware. To me, that qualifies. I'm guessing they're going to land here. What were the other choices? Iron, fuel, stone, wood. Which are all empty. Wood is bouncing back on its own because I think we capped out on our... Nope, we have 2,500 on the firewood. Why did the wood go down and come back? What am I missing? Construction projects. All of the shore houses took 16 logs, and we put a whole bunch in at one time. So 100 logs went away in one quick swipe. That's probably what happened there. Okay. So small quarry is still going to sit here to remind us we have to make sure we deal with that. The tunnel is going to go in when the tunnel goes in. We don't need to see that. This is waiting for another trader. These guys are waiting. Deer Butcher, we've seen the results. So I need to go back and balance out the traders soon. The candles are going to be dealt with here. Where would we want to deal with the oil press? So we're making cotton, which makes oil. What else we make? We have that makes oil. Olives make oil. So cotton and olives can make oil. So an oil press needs to go in. It kind of qualifies as in our agriculture area, but also qualifies for our production and industry area. So, is there anything special going to be done right in here? Got our graveyard, which is kind of maintaining. We're not overwhelming it yet, but we're going to at some point. Graves degrade after a while, which was something that was a bit of a mystery. It was our tulips of the last Banished series, or I didn't realize that that had been built into the game. It wasn't originally. So in between when I played for you know, weeks and months on end at the very beginning of when Banished was released to when I started making the Let's Plays, in between that they had changed the mechanic of the graves, and now they degrade and fall off. We've had far more than 45 deaths over our 40 years in the game. So we're probably not going to add another graveyard near this one. If we do, it's going to be at the central church. We'll have a big graveyard over in the main city area, most likely. Speaking of church, we have peaked out. I was going to say, are we going to need another parish house soon? We did that in this. Interesting. I wouldn't think that it would show a cap. That is for that one, right? It is. I would think that it would just, you know, stop at 80, and this would, because we still have room in this in the system. Do they only travel a certain distance from their home? Do we need to get one over here? We might. Maybe that goes here. I know we're going to need more housing soon. I kind of like that. Let's put a little farm community church over here. Yeah, right here. So let's pop a church in. That is the parish house. And there is no other look, right, F? There is. So where we got a place where we can see that? Really can't. So we have a log cabin look and a shiplap old barnwood kind of look. That's it. Okay. We'll do the log cabin-y look. Ooh, our first chandlery is done. So R rotates me around, kind of staying in line with this, and a couple of spaces. That'll be fine. And let's bring the road a little further down, now that there's a reason to. We'll get all the way into here. And we'll run it along there, and take this guy around to match it. Okay, that'll give some builders something to do. That's a lot of builders. Take it back to 4. Keep the flexibility of the laborers. Chandlery is done. Uses the materials list, just like I thought. Okay. Gonna make it out of beeswax? Yes. And we'll do the second one out of tallow. Now, we already have 2 worker... Oh, I clicked on the schoolhouse. That's interesting. It grabbed right there instead of there. Okay, so we have 0. So this is not sharing an industry with anything. So good. We'll go ahead and pop 1 in. And they're building this guy now. And with even 4 workers, all 4 are sitting here. Let's go ahead and pop that second worker in now. There's going to be a no-brainer. In fact, let's set this one to tallow, which is going to confuse him. He's already bringing beeswax over, most likely. Where is he? He's here. He's not, but he's probably on his way to get it. Yeah, beeswax. Okay. That was iron is low. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we had a lot of iron, and that's dropping. We'll have to peek at that. Tools are fine. Coats are fine. So we'll have to remember to turn this one to tallow. I was going to swap them so that, because this will automatically drop in as beeswax, and I wouldn't have to go back to it again. Why are we decreasing the amount of iron? And a trader just came in, but let's wait for this guy. Iron was in the 200 or 300 range not very long ago. Out of tallow. Okay. And you will figure out your new job here soon, so we can turn these off. So we haven't gotten more iron ore lately. We haven't gone out searching for iron ore in order to turn into iron. So is that... where's the eyes? Iron ore. We still have a gob of iron ore. So why have we been decreasing our iron when we only use it for tools? We did build the second blacksmith. Okay, you guys calm down. We did build the second blacksmith. Iron smelter. Iron limit. Okay. Furnace fuel. Okay. So again, it's a furnace fuel problem, which we still have to verify we have got a good log and firewood industry coming. Though you can make it out of something else. I was confused about this. The other ones will give you choices for things even though you don't have them yet. We don't have any silk cocoons, we have any flax. So, but you can still see the choices. This one is saying you've got a choice of, and again, things we don't have yet. So this one, you have a choice of one thing. What does that do? That's our so does this mean that more is going to show up when we finally get coal or coke or something? Or does this mean that 1.6 is still in flux and they're going to add a mechanic to put more choices here, so until they get time to do that, they at least put the menu into the coding? That's what I suspect. We're going to see a 1.61 someday, and it's going to say furnace fuel, charcoal, coal, basically all the choices that we have here. So I think that's why this is so limited. It just wasn't finished. There's more coming. That's my guess. So we need more furnace fuel. So I think what we need is another fuel refinery going in. That's going to alleviate the stress placed upon a lot of these buildings here. So furnace fuel comes in next to the blacksmith, if I remember right. Smithing tools. We have furnace. What am I looking for? Fuel refinery. No, that's actually out here. Stacks burner, fuel refinery. So that's right there. And he does fit. If I rotate him, all these buildings aren't squares, are they? Don't you have some rectangles? Yeah, so that one's a rectangle. He fits either way. I think we'll do that. I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze another building in here, so we'll give him this run. We'll leave space here for trees and whatnot to grow. Okay, we've got traders to deal with. The chandleries are done. We're going to get this going, which is going to improve our iron smelting. So we still have wood and firewood to deal with. And we've got... Oh, wrong button. That wasn't a W. We've still got these guys to deal with. And we're at 45 minutes already, or just about. Amazing how the time goes away. So, is there anything we have to buy here? Hemp, wool, cloth, we're making. Silk we'll make eventually. Who are we? The dry goods trader. Beeswax, pottery, cannons, arrowheads. We're going to say no thank you. Eventually we're going to start making our own salt, so we're not going to jump the gun on that one. So we'll dismiss him. Now, over here, seeds, the planter, and we still haven't planted the last seed that we got. Though we did talk about getting wheat seeds, just to have something in stock. Barley is here. Oats are here. Rye is here. Let's go with oats. Let's go ahead and do that and get one grain seed in stock to use someday. I'm not going to spend the time figuring out which of these are the best. We'll just grab 500 out of all of our ones we've got an abundance of. Okay, iron and iron tools, we're not going to... Nah, we're not going to touch those right now. Firewood we're not going to touch because we're going to start spending a lot of that on furnace fuel. Venison still needs to leave. Did we not get rid of this, or was it the other trader? Maybe in the other trader. So I got to balance these two guys out. Mulberry leaves we still have a lot of. We can go ahead and blow 500 out of that. So we're at 2,500, and we'll do that. We're still, well, our 22,000 has dropped to 20,000. Probably because we traded so much food last time. So maybe we'll stop there. That's going to drop us to 17,000 in food. So we're at 3,000. What else can we do? Herbs we're bringing in now because we're growing them. So we can do the rest in herbs. So 1,000, that's 250, right? That did it. So there is our oat seeds. Trade. Dismiss. Turn you off. Let's go turn on the orange trees. And oranges. And work. And we'll leave this like that. That's the pattern we're doing with the orchards, is we're leaving the farmer to do the work. Right? That didn't change? That didn't change. Eventually it will change. Eventually we will get lots of laborers in, especially when we get to the city over there and get the Colonial Town Hall going and get nomads coming in. Then we're going to see a surge in laborers, and then we can start dealing, have the flexibility to switch all of these guys to labor pickup, things like that. But anyway, let me run that a minute to make sure. Yep, nope, that's what I wanted to make sure I didn't make a mistake. Switch this back to 1. Now we should alleviate the confusion, right? I didn't add a farmer. There we go. Okay. So with that, we're gonna hit pause. And what's going on for next time? The quarry is the big issue. We've got to begin our upgrade. Have we made candles yet? We are starting to. No, we're not. We've made wild seeds in our chandlery. So the one who took the job had wild seeds in his or her pocket. So, and again, same thing here. Well, we brought in beeswax, and we have not made anything. So soon we'll make that. While we're making that, while we're waiting for that, we're going to have to get some housing going on. So housing needs to be our next issue next time. Got to develop this area, get this going, get a little neighborhood going here. Another country church, another small school maybe. That's what we can do next time. With that, I think we're going to call this one done. Ran quite long this time. So, typical Noble Rambler fashion. Alright folks, well I thank you much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe down below, I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.